Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Virtual College Exploration for all Minnesota students, sponsored by the Minnesota Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us, both to students as well as our wonderful panel of presenters. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening, so please be sure to check out the full schedule at mn-acac.org/virtualcollege. And also this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website. Again, mn-acac.org/virtualcollege. Thank you again. Thanks to our presenters. And with that, I will hand off to them.
Hello, welcome. We will get started in just a moment. We've got some slides we're going to show you and tell you a little bit about our schools, but also introduce you to some interesting facts about our institutions. We're glad that you are joining us tonight, and hopefully we have a chance to teach you some new things about our school, and also perhaps some questions will come in as we are moving through this.
Bear with me 1 minute, Lisa. It seems to not want to let me screen share here. So here we go. There we go. Sorry about that.
Great. So unfortunately, even though we're right around the dinner hour, we do not have any sweet tea or barbecue for you all tonight, but we hope to provide a little bit of our Southern hospitality just by our words and information we're going to share with you tonight. So we are a collection of schools that are part of what's called the Southern Consortium, and the four of us tonight have agreed to spend some time sharing some information about our institution. So I'm going to let each person introduce themselves, and the next slide shows you some just facts and figures about our institution, and then you can learn a little bit about us, and we will get started with our program. The way we do it, just because it's a little bit different, we each have a couple of words and phrases. They're in random order, so it'll be a surprise who's going to be the speaker. We all know our words and phrases, so we will jump in and share our information. And then as we get to the end, we'll certainly be available to ask any questions. So we will start with Furman.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it. My name is Maggie Murphy, and I represent Furman University.
Hey everyone, my name is Piyush Kumar. I'm representing Rhodes College. Happy to be here.
And I'm Lisa Burns, representing Sewanee, the University of the South.
Hi everyone, my name is Elena Wilson. I am with Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas.
Great. So domain is a Sewanee term, and that is actually what we call our campus. Sewanee is located between the cities of Chattanooga and Nashville, Tennessee. We are on 13,000 acres, so a ginormous place to be a student, to be in the classroom and outside the classroom. We have 51 miles of trails. We have 11 lakes. We have sort of an uncounted number of caves on campus. Tennessee is quite a big state for caves. So it's not just a place where you will go to class, it's a place you'll live, you'll be in a community. The town of Sewanee, which is where we're located, only has 3,500 people that live in the town, and that includes our 1,700 students. So if you are looking for an institution that you'll be able to engage quickly and deeply with the members of the community, Sewanee is a great location for you to think about. Perhaps you're interested in doing goat yoga. We just opened up our goat yoga activity this week. So we have a working farm on campus, and students, it's midterm, so looking for some opportunity to relax a little bit, and they can do goat yoga. You might want to do real live rock climbing, because you can do that off the side of campus, because we're actually up on a plateau. But I think more importantly, we want our students to stay on campus with us, engage in the community, but we also know we're a little bit remote. And so with that, we offer students a pledge, and the pledge has three components. One is graduation in 4 years. The second is a funded internship or research opportunity. So a great opportunity to leave campus at some point, and a semester of study abroad with no additional cost. So as much as we love for you to call Sewanee, the domain, your home, we also will encourage you to seek some time off campus and bring those experiences back to us.
Next is Upstate, and that's actually a Furman term. Many of you know South Carolina for its beautiful beaches. However, the portion of the state that we refer to as the Upstate would be closer to the mountains, where it's equally as beautiful and just a little bit cooler. Furman University calls Greenville home. Greenville's a city of about 500,000 people, and it is the 4th fastest growing city in the nation right now. Our campus is considered suburban, and it's located about 10 minutes from downtown Greenville. To give you a reference, we are right in the economic corridor, smack dab in the middle between Atlanta, Georgia, and Charlotte, North Carolina. We partner with over 250 different businesses throughout the greater Greenville area, allowing our students to access a variety of different internship opportunities. We are also home to 19 Fortune 500 companies, allowing us to once again access and have a partnership with those businesses for our students. Students also have access and opportunities to engage in minor league baseball, ice hockey, large performing arts center, a huge foodie scene. So if you're looking for that type of atmosphere and just being 10 minutes from campus, we definitely have that to offer. On top of that access, we also are 100% residential. We believe by having our students live on campus all 4 years, we're really able to promote the idea of a sense of community and making it sure that that's all things Furman.
Wonderful. Okay, so on a mission is a Trinity University term. San Antonio is home for our Trinity students. And just to give you a little background on what San Antonio is, we're home to about 5 missions. Now, you've probably heard of the Alamo, we all remember that, but there are 4 other very beautiful historic missions. Students really enjoy biking the missions trail and around the National Historic Park that it's in. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But Trinity University itself as an institution is also on a mission. We're committed to academic excellence and intentional inclusion of our students on campus. Where 42% of our students are from underrepresented backgrounds. And I believe part of that is that we're very accessible to students who apply. We have no application fee, no supplemental essay. We offer reduced enrollment deposit options, and we're test optional. If you do decide to submit a test score, those will be self-reported, so you don't need to pay a testing service for that. Now, beyond that too, while our mission is centered on our students' mission then seems to be centered around going back and serving to our community and our home in San Antonio. More than 80% of our students are involved in some sort of community service, but it's actually not a requirement for graduation. They do it on their own merit, and just a beautiful example of how our students continue to be engaged and give back to our home.
CLP, that is a Furman word, welcoming me back quickly. CLP refers to our Cultural Life Program. And our Cultural Life Program at Furman is essentially something we believe that all students should be exposed to and participate in. As a matter of fact, students need to complete 32 CLPs prior to graduation. And the idea is that students are looking beyond themselves, beyond Furman, and really taking a larger global look at the world around them. The idea of the Cultural Life Program is to expose students to a variety of opportunities on campus. Some of them are a matter of us bringing in outside resources, and others are tapping into the students we already have on campus. The idea, like I said, is just to expose students and make them lifelong learners and really have an opportunity to take in expressions from various disciplines and cultures. Some of the CLPs that we have offered recently are Race and Politics in the Archives, Debate Watch, Transformative Girls Education in Kenya, and Beyond Tolerance.
All right, Bluff City is a Rhodes College term, and this is referring to the city of Memphis, Tennessee, where we're located. This is a big part of our identity. We're located in a major metropolitan area, and we want our students to experience the best of both worlds. When you think about our campus, you're surrounded by trees, you're surrounded by neighborhoods, family-owned businesses. It doesn't feel like you're in a city, but just 6 minutes down the road, you'll be in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. And we want our students to engage in the city. We want that to be a pivotal part of their college experience. We do that in 2 major ways. One is with something called the Big Deal program. Basically what we do is we go buy tickets to major events, so NBA tickets, Broadway tickets at our theater, comedy show tickets, things like that. And then we'll resell them to our students for $5 so that they can go for an affordable price. And you can get that feeling of being engaged with the city and having a lot of fun there. The other way we do it is through service. We're nationally known as one of the most service-minded schools in the country. And this is something I'll talk a little bit more later on. But service is a huge part of the Rhodes experience, and it's completely optional as well if you want to partake in that. We're right along the Mississippi River as well, so having that there is amazing. And also a lot of major companies are calling Memphis home. So FedEx, ServiceMaster, AutoZone, just to name a few, they have direct partnerships with us. So we are able to give internships to students that find those companies interesting and wanting to work for them. And there have been stories of students that have done long-term internships at these companies, and they're offered jobs right before they graduate. So these are really cool opportunities for our students, and we are happy that we're located here. And Memphis will become a really important part of your college experience if you choose Rhodes.
Okay, great. We're back to the Riverwalk with Trinity University. So San Antonio is an old city. We just celebrated our tricentennial actually. So very beautiful, culturally rich and diverse city. And it's the 7th largest city in the nation and quickly growing. So what does that mean for our students? It means that they're not just bound to the Riverwalk and the touristy attractions. No, there's a lot of other opportunities for them. One being it's just accessible. We're just 3 miles from downtown, and it's also an affordable city. So great for college students, and just really never a dull moment for our students to grow both socially and professionally. So socially, what that looks like, lots of fun with all the taco trucks located around, the Fiesta Parade, outdoor concerts, botanical gardens, all the museums that we have. Students get a discount with their card, things like that. So that's just a taste of what you can do, off campus and for fun, but also on more of the networking and professional development side. More than 80% of our students, right, are completing internships during their time at Trinity, and in part that's because San Antonio is has such a healthy economy. We are also home to a lot of major company headquarters like Valero, USAA, HEB, and of course the San Antonio Spurs NBA team. And they all recognize the caliber of a Trinity student and a Trinity alum. And so our students are really set up for success once they leave.
All right, Rites of Spring is a Rhodes term, and this is actually one of our long-standing traditions at Rhodes College. This usually takes place in around April, and this allows students for an entire weekend to have a really good and fun time. Usually Friday, Saturday, we have some big-name artists and bands that come to campus and perform in a concert venue for our students, and it's really a great time of coming together and enjoying the year that you've had at Rhodes. And then usually on Sunday, there's a volunteer piece to it. So we invite members of the Memphis community to join us on campus, and we have something called Rites to Play, which allows us to give back to the community and have a lot of fun stuff going around. There's a Pie Your Professor station, so the students really enjoy that. There's a lot of cool food that's being offered and from all the different clubs on Rhodes campus. It's really just a great place for members of the Rhodes community to come together, but also to engage with members of the Memphis community as well. So So this speaks volumes to the overall traditions and that we have at Rhodes College, and it's a really important aspect of what it means to be a Rhodes student participating in this event. And yeah, we're really excited about the potentials that every new year brings for Rites of Spring. I think you're muted, Lisa.
I may have disappeared for a minute. I lost contact too, so I don't know if I missed one of my words. The pledge is for students to take advantage off campus. And if you think about, the three other panelists are in major or large cities where they have access to things right in their backyard. And at Sewanee, that doesn't happen because of where we're located. So, working with a faculty member, giving yourself a chance to talk about sort of your hopes and dreams academically. Just last night, I was on a panel with one of our students who's a sophomore. She came to Sewanee to be a major in pre-med, go on to medical school. That's still her plan, but she just changed her major to English. Which may not seem like the most usual route, but again, we're going to guarantee that she'll graduate in 4 years. In fact, 14% of our students will have a double major because they can't really decide what it is that they would like to study. And 100% of our students have a minor attached to their major. So if you think about graduating in 4 years, we have to carefully craft that schedule to ensure that you stay on track. The study abroad component, we're going to list 200 locations for you to study abroad. There's no additional cost to you. And that's a great benefit, and that typically happens in the junior year. So choosing a location that sounds of interest to you, a place maybe you've been before or would like to visit, or match that with an academic interest or do something completely different. And then again, the internships and research post could be on campus, could be as close as Nashville or Chattanooga, or could be anywhere in the world. And students will typically do those in the summer and receive funding of about $4,000 to take advantage of those great opportunities. So that is Sewanee's pledge to all incoming students.
Great. So constructive collisions is a Trinity word. Don't worry, it's not as aggressive as it sounds. It actually just describes our approach to collaborative, interdisciplinary teaching and learning. And a perfect example of that is going to be our new Center for Sciences and Innovation building. It was actually structured intentionally so that the engineering hallway and makerspace crosses over with the entrepreneurship program, and neuroscience crosses over with psychology. And you kind of get the picture there. It really is just the physical infrastructure of the building, as well as the instruction that our professors embrace. It's setting up students for success to go out into a dynamic
I think we may have lost Elena there. Maybe jump ahead and come back, or she's rejoining.
There we go.
My apologies, everyone. I don't know what just happened. Do you mind if I wrap up on constructive collisions here real quick? Wonderful. So another point that I wanted to bring up is that we really put this Trinity twist to our liberal arts foundation, meaning that we encourage students to blend the STEM field with something in the arts or business, humanities. So that's pretty common at Trinity. About a third of our students will double major. And in terms of hands-on experience for these students, research, and not just the STEM students that get to have fun. We fund research in all different disciplines and even have a summer paid research opportunity for our students. And really all of this couldn't happen without our incredible faculty, the close relationships that they foster with the students. They really challenge students outside of the comfort zone, think outside of the box, and keep an open mind.
All right, St. Jude is a Rhodes term, and this is primarily because St. Jude is also headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's a really big partnership that we have with St. Jude and a really pivotal part of the student experience. we work with them in many ways. One of the most notable being research opportunities and internships at St. Jude are right within your grasp. If you show some interest and say, hey, I want to work at St. Jude, I want to volunteer, I want to shadow doctors, we definitely have a good connection with getting you those opportunities. St. Jude has done a lot for the city, has done a lot for Rhodes students. We also have students that help with the St. Jude Marathon every year and participate in the St. Jude Marathon. And a lot of other different cool ways as well. Sometimes we have classes that are taught by St. Jude researchers, which is really cool. When I was a student, I was a part of the badminton club, and we played against members of the St. Jude staff. So that was also really interesting. So in multiple different ways, you're interacting with people from St. Jude, and it's a really good partnership to have. And we have a summer program as well for about a semester, a summer, and then a semester. It's called St. Jude Summer Plus, and our students can do really interesting and awesome research with them, and you present your work at the end of it, and from what I hear, it's a really awesome experience, and you get a lot out of it as well. So St. Jude is a very important part of the Rhodes traditions and the way we kind of do things at Rhodes. Oh, I think you're muted, Maggie.
Thank you very much. Guaranteed access, that is a Furman word, and something that definitely falls right into our Furman advantage. The Furman advantage is actually our pledge or our promise to all students who decide to attend Furman that they have access to undergraduate research, internships, and study away opportunities. We want them to have this unparalleled experience so that they are ready, whether they're headed straight into the workforce or going on to graduate school. When it comes to global exploration through our Study Away program, we have a variety of opportunities. Furman's Study Away program is a little different because it is a completely Furman-run program led by Furman faculty members. We go to over 30 different countries, and our students have access to semester-long programs, as well as a Maymester, which we refer to as our May-X. Those are more theme-based opportunities where you're gone for 3 weeks after your spring semester has concluded, and you can do up to 4 of those per year. We also have career investigation throughout our internship opportunities. Internships are a huge part of what we do at Furman, whether it's tied into your semester coursework or if it is a summer internship. We just strongly believe that the more students can explore these opportunities, the better they're going to understand different areas of employment and really guarantee that they are getting into a field of work that they're interested in. And then lastly, our undergraduate research. We actually conduct research across all of our curricular areas. So you need to look beyond lab coats and microscopes, and students have the opportunity not only to do research that they're involved and interested with, but even more so, they're the ones who are being published and they're the ones who are doing the presentations. Afterwards, we really ask students to take a deep look and reflect upon their experiences, look at the success and even failures they've had, and really sort of dissect the different learning that's occurred throughout the process. It wouldn't be completely helpful if we had access to all of these without also providing financial access and opportunities to help support our students. And by doing so, we offer fellows or fellowship opportunities so that students don't have to choose beyond getting a part-time job or a summer job and having guaranteed access to these opportunities. Therefore, Furman will financially support students as they take advantage of these as well. About 92% of our students graduate with at least one of these opportunities that they've taken advantage of, and many are doing much more than that as well.
Angel in a gown is a Sewanee tradition. It's actually 2 traditions. I cheated a little bit and added 2 into my phrase. And I think you'll find that the 4 of us represented tonight are all strong in the liberal arts, very supportive of our students and our community, and all of us are very rich in traditions. And oftentimes that is why a student might choose one of our institutions if they really want to be at a place where they feel is if they can become part of that tradition, they carry that with them as they go out into the world, whether it be graduate school, their first job, 30 years post-graduation, and they run into, you know, one of their classmates, and they can share some of those traditions. So I'm going to talk about the gown, and that is an academic gown that our students are presented with in the first semester of their sophomore year. Is the first time they can earn it. They have to have a GPA of a 3.4 after their freshman year to be presented to the Order of the Gown. And they actually go to a ceremony. It was outside this year. It was lovely. And the faculty member that they've selected, a mentor, someone they live with in the residence hall, a parent, whoever it is, will come and actually present them with an academic gown. So you may have read a Harry Potter book. I honestly have never read one, but I know that Harry wears a black academic gown, and so that's what they are. And so our students can receive them as early as their sophomore year, and then each semester there's a different grade point average criteria that they need to achieve to be able to be awarded their gown. So the gown they get in their sophomore year or junior year is actually the gown they wear on commencement day. So they keep that with them through their 4 years. They don't have to wear them, but if you earn it, why wouldn't you want to wear such an honor? A tour guide might put one on, a student might put it on for a class that they haven't examined or they have to give a presentation, or they might crumple it up, put it in their backpack and not pull it out till commencement day. But knowing that you've been awarded that gown is really a great feat at Sewanee. The angel is a tradition that long and true is that angels have lived on the domain on our campus because it is so lovely. And so our students, our faculty, our community members are all protected by that angel. But when you leave campus, the tradition is you tap the roof of your car and you each get to take a Sewanee angel with you. So perhaps you can see mine fluttering on my shoulder right now because I was on campus 2 days ago and brought one back with me. But it's really just a sign of protecting one another as well. A couple other traditions. One of my favorite is called the passing hello. It's pretty simple. It means you say hello to someone when you walk by them. Perhaps that's Southern hospitality, but try that. You know, oftentimes you're in a rush, you're in a hurry, you're not paying attention to who's walking around you, and just saying hello is just a nice moment of grace on our campus. I talked about goat yoga. I also know that sometimes Sewanee is seen as having a dress code. I've seen on some of the publications that Sewanee people will call and say, I understand Sewanee has a dress code. What we actually have is something called class dress. And the way I describe it is our students get up in the morning, take care of business, put on something respectable and go to class, because that's a really important part of their day. Their faculty members have prepared, their classmates have prepared, and so they need to come prepared. They don't just roll out of bed and throw on a ball cap and wander into class. They kind of take it as a very serious task that they're doing that day. So there's no one standing at the door of a classroom saying, your tie's not tied, or where's your jacket, or, you know, what are you doing with those holes in your shoes? It's more of students really feeling serious about the work they're about to do at Sewanee in the classroom. And so that is our tradition of a class dress. So I hope that some of these traditions you'll hear from Sewanee and my colleagues on the panel will provide you some insight into what it would be like to be a student at our institutions.
Maggie, I think you're muted again.
Thank you. I guess doing the slides is throwing me off a little bit. Sustainability is a Furman word. It's part of our identity as a university, and it's been part of our core values and strategic priority for decades. We do house the Shy Center for Sustainability on our campus, which is regionally focused institute promoting sustainability through educational opportunities, research, and leadership. And it's something not just Furman students and faculty have access to, it's the entire community. This is really more of an environmental, social, and economic impact that we can have as an institution and spread awareness to. We have things such as alternative transportation. We use our campus as a living learning lab. We have a Furman farm. We do dining with our Farm to Fork program. 20% of our food that is consumed on campus comes from farms and sources within 150 miles of campus. It's just a pledge that we have made as a university to do our part and make a difference. We also have the George G. Willis Jr. Arboretum on campus, which is utilized by many people outside of the Furman community. As a matter of fact, as a university, we've made a pledge to be carbon neutral by the year 2026. Every year, we also handle pre and post waste composting from our dining hall. And last year alone, we recycled or composted over 40 tons of food waste. On top of that, we have opportunities for classrooms to tie this into curriculum. It is not just our sustainability science major, but it allows for students outside of those academic areas to tap in to make a difference as well. As far as living goes, we do have eco cabins available on our lake. It's part of our Greenbelt community. And we also teach sustainability across the curriculum. Any leftovers we have from our food bank, or excuse me, from our dining hall goes to local food banks, as well as loaves and fishes. So a lot of different opportunities for students to make an impact and leave a lasting impression.
All right, so the bridge is the Rhodes term, and this is actually referring to one of the service opportunities that we have at Rhodes College. The bridge is actually a student newspaper that is written by completely Rhodes students and given out to the Memphis community. It's also given out to members of the homeless community, and they sell it across Memphis in the form of giving them a source of income. So this is actually a really good example of the service that happens at Rhodes College. Like I mentioned before, it's a big part of being a Rhodes student, and 85% of our students do service at some point while they're at Rhodes. You can start whenever you want, you can stop whenever you want, whatever works best with your schedule. And there's a lot of different things you can do. Kinney coordinates a lot of these programs at Rhodes, and you basically go to them and say, hey, these are my interests, and they give you a whole list of things that you can do. I took a lot of advantage of this when I was a student myself. My junior year, I tutored biology to high school students in the surrounding area. And then my senior year, I worked at Street Dog Foundation. So I took stray dogs, I got them rehabilitated, and I got them into adoptable homes. So that was a really cool thing that I did my senior year when I was living off campus. So, you know, the sky's the limit with service, and the city commonly says that Memphis relies on Rhodes, and we say that Rhodes relies on Memphis. So another way of giving back to the city, and it becomes a really cool and important part of being a Rhodes student.
Great. So Stumberg is a Trinity University term. Innovation and entrepreneurship are really big at Trinity. And I think in part it's because San Antonio is such a great launch pad for our students and their businesses. And the university invests in our students to test out their vision, so to speak. A great example of that is what we have called the Stumberg competition. This is essentially Trinity's version of Shark Tank. You might recognize that name. And basically it's just that. We have our entrepreneurship students compete for a grand prize of $25,000 a year, pitching their great idea to a live panel of investors. And again, this happens every year. So from the start of this program, we've seen more than 50 student startups. One of my favorite examples, because I'm a coffee addict, is a great idea by one of our students. He's now graduated, but he called it Quick Sip. It's a cold brew coffee bottling company. He won the grand prize and was able to start selling his coffee in local grocery stores, and now is really expanding it. So that was exciting to see. And then more on our older alumni, you might be familiar with Kind bars. So Daniel Lebetsky, he's a Trinity alum and very pivotal in making some stops into our entrepreneurship program and being one of these guest panelists there. But other resources where you're going to see Trinity investing in our students with our $1.4 billion endowment is our student managed fund. That's kind of available for our finance majors. Basically, it's a class where they get to play around with $6 million in the stock market. And then my personal favorite way that we invest in our students is student accessibility services and all of those free tutoring resources and academic coaching that a student is encouraged to get at Trinity. And really just the bottom line is if a student has a particular passion or idea or question, Trinity's gonna run with that and empower you to explore that more.
I know that it's, again, dinner time. And so this term, and I think that my colleagues would agree that when we make a review of applications, and it's the holistic review, it's really trying to choose people to come live in our communities. So, you know, Sewanee is 100% residential, while 13 students do not live on campus, but they live on the domain with family members. So we're trying to figure out not just their academic preparedness, but how they're going to contribute to the faculty, to the community. You know, our fire department are all student volunteers. Everything that happens as far as community engagement is all students. And so we're reading applications in a holistic way. And so I like to have you imagine a dinner table. In our case, it would be a table for 500 that runs down the center of campus, down University Avenue. You know, we're a big campus, so we could probably accommodate a dinner table of 500. We probably have the wood come right out of the forest on campus to build such a table. But as we're reading those applications, we're trying to imagine who's gonna sit next to who? Who's gonna have an easy time with the conversation? Who's gonna be challenged with that conversation? Who's gonna approach the table, see their name card, look to their left, look to their right, and say, oh my gosh, I have to sit next to that person? Who's going to sit there and not say a word? Who's going to sit across from that person who's not saying a word and find a way to invite them into the conversation? Because really, your 4 years of college are going to be one big dinner conversation in so many ways. It's going to be figuring out yourself, figuring out others, sharing your experiences when it's an appropriate time, finding out a way to learn more about others in a way that you have never had an opportunity to do. So academically speaking, you know, we're all going to look for students who are prepared to be students in our classroom. But I think more importantly, schools like the ones represented here, and I hope you all are okay me speaking for you all, you know, we're really looking for people who the fit is there. They find a place where, you know, I said goat yoga, and that's why you're going to choose Sewanee. Or you want to work at St. Jude in a research position, and that's exactly why you're going to go to Rhodes. Or perhaps you love all of the things that can happen on the Riverwalk and the connection to an old city in the state of Texas, and there is Trinity for you. Or you want to live in one of those eco cottages, which I think sound really cool on Furman's campus. So if those are things you really are looking for, let us know that through the admission process, because that gives us a chance to engage with you, tell our stories, and help you find a place where you really will be a great student for 4 years and take advantage of all the opportunities that we have. So as you think about submitting applications, think about where you might sit at that dinner table. Or next time you sit down and begin a conversation with someone, stretch yourself a little bit, because when you're on a college campus, especially the 4 of us here tonight, you're going to be challenged by your faculty members, by the community, by your fellow students. And in admissions at Sewanee, that's what we're trying to do, is kind of set that table with a really fascinating group of students from all over the country and the world. So that is, you know, as we're into the dinner hour, that would be dinner table for you all. And I think now we've come to the end of our words and phrases. And I don't know if there are any questions that have come in. I think what we could do, just quickly go through kind of this fall, what we're doing as far as visits to campus. We can share that, and we'll just go in the order that our slides are here on the screen. And then if there are no other questions come in, we can let you all go with your evening.
Thanks, Lisa. What Furman is doing this fall so far is we are virtual visits only. We are in the process of transitioning to allow senior applicants access to campus for sort of a driving tour that we would do in our trolleys. But right now, we are still in the mode of virtual visits only, along with a lot of other virtual opportunities as well.
All right, and at Rhodes, we're doing a whole slew of different options. Like everyone else, we're offering virtual tours and also virtual webinars. We have a ongoing webinar series that we do every Wednesday where we talk about different aspects of the application and different clubs and organizations on Rhodes campus. So you can access those on our website. We're also offering out on-campus visits. We're offering one tour at the same time every day with 6 families at a time, so socially distant, and also offered only to seniors. So this will give you that essence of Rhodes and what it means to be on Rhodes campus. So if you're interested, please come by and visit us. But again, feel free to go on our website and look at all the different virtual options that we're offering as well.
At Sewanee, we certainly have as many virtual opportunities as many colleges do. And we're finding students are taking advantage of it. And we were just commenting at our staff meeting how we feel like we're really making some great connections with student one-on-one, kind of at their schedule. They didn't have to find us in a coffee shop. They didn't have to find a place to park. We're right here on a Zoom. So we're really enjoying those opportunities. I needed to update my slide, but it just happened this morning at a meeting. We are going to open up for visitors, for seniors. We currently are not open until Monday. We're going to open for self-guided tours. And then the following week, we will have 2 tour times a day, limiting them to 10 students. Our students have been asked to stay on campus, and our students are not able to have family members come to campus, or our students aren't able to go anywhere. So it was really a big deal to say we really want some seniors to walk this beautiful land before they decide what their application plans might be. So that information will be posted on the website. I think it is updated this evening.
And then with Trinity, we're going to continue with our very robust virtual offerings, pre-recorded sessions, as well as live sessions for information, virtual tours, and then even actually in a few weeks on October 17th, we're having our big Trinity in Focus visit event. It will be virtual this time around, but we're really excited because it offers a deeper dive into connecting with like actual current students and professors rather than just us admissions counselor folk. But then as of a month ago, we did also open up for very social distance outdoor tours, and you're welcome to sign up for those online. We'd love to see you.
So seeing no questions, knowing that our contact information is here, and we look forward to hearing from you individually, email all of us because we'd all love to hear back from you. And thank you for your time this evening, and hopefully you have a good rest of the week and a nice fall weekend ahead.
I just want to reiterate those thanks as well. Thank you so much to students for joining us. Thank you so much to our panelists for being part of this. A couple quick notes. When you close this window, there will be there's a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd really appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions at mn-acac.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as that of all the other session recordings at mn-acac.org/virtual college. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, presenters, and everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Have a nice night.